What's going on, world? So, today is February the 16th, I believe, and I decided to do a video on Valentine's Day. Well, about Valentine's Day. A lot of people might not realize this, but Valentine's Day is just the celebration of Saint Valentine, who was born, I want to say, around 290 something. The first Valentine's Day ever was celebrated in like 496. And it's not a love story. This is tragic. This is very, very bad. There was an emperor in Rome. His name was Claudius II. Claudius II was against marrying people. He was more like an anti-Christian kind of a guy. Uh, Claudius, he outlawed getting married. Reason being was that he wanted his Roman military to have strong men. And to have strong men, he felt as though the younger men who was in the military should not get married. They shouldn't have wives. They shouldn't have families. Shouldn't have kids. All that. And he felt as though that having that would just make you a weaker soldier. So he outlawed it. So what happened was that there was two men who were caught basically breaking this law that he had put out, marrying Christians, helping the young Christian people get away from the Emperor Claudius II. And unfortunately, they were put to death. And they were put to death on February the 14th. The Catholics, I believe, they still celebrate Valentine's Day, and they call it Saint Valentine's Day. They also have some type of feast of the Valentine, something along those lines. I gotta go back and make sure that research was correct, but it's a horrible story. I'm trying to figure out where did the world go where we're celebrating love. Like, we just had the reason that it's even called Valentine's Day was because Saint Valentine was the man. Well, it was two men actually, two men who just happened to be named Valentine. They were actually murdered on this day. We're actually celebrating their death, which don't necessarily sit right with me. Overall, I don't necessarily think what we doing is necessarily the right way to celebrate Valentine's Day, but at the same time, who am I to judge? If you want to pick this day of all days to make your significant other, whether it be man and woman, 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 man, man, because we live in that timeline, you want to make this day the day where they are super special, by all means, who am I to judge you? Go for it. You want to give them that big ass $50 bear? Go for it. I'm not the type to stop you. I celebrated mine a little differently, but the origin of Valentine's Day, that is horrible. It really is. To behead somebody after just beating them to death with clubs and stones, and that didn't kill them, that sucks. That really sucks. Like, I don't think I could live in that timeline. The very first Valentine's Day was 496, and the reason it is what it is because they just beheaded two people who just happened to be named Valentine. Ah, that sucks. I look at Valentine's Day a lot differently. I really do. Um, but like I say, who am I to judge? Valentine's Day, that sucks. That's all I can say. Uh, I'll try to bring you guys more content. Valentine's Day though, like that's gonna be stuck with me for a while. Emperor Claudius II, yo, you were terrible. I'm sorry, you were terrible. None with no other way to look at that. I mean, I'm in the military, so I get what it means to be a strong soldier. In at least in my opinion, I don't necessarily think that decapitating or outlawing men who were married or planning to get married or have, like, families of their own and things along those lines, I don't necessarily think that is the way to make a better soldier. Some soldiers actually need that extra push. They need that motivation back home so they can come back to that. You know, granted, everybody's different. Some people, it just holds them back. Some people, it pushes them to greatness. It really does. I'm glad we don't live in that timeline. I can only imagine the horrible events that could take place if it was like 496 or back when Mr. St. Valentine actually passed, being decapitated. Like, that's horrible. Like, there's no other way to say it. I mean, it's a dark origin, but as Americans, we just find a way to make it great. We really do. We glorify the whole baby I love you, this type of thing, the little corny, chalky little candies and shit like that. But looking at the history of it, how it started, and for it to go the way it did all the way to now, I've never even heard of the Feast of Valentine. For I guess maybe it's because I'm not Catholic or whatnot, but to each his own. Uh, that's all I really got. Shocked the hell out of me. I'm telling you guys, shocked the hell out of me. Do your research. I promise you. The internet will give you anything, essentially anything you would know in regards to information, knowledge, anything along those lines. I decided to look it up myself, and I was shocked as shit. I'm like, this is a horrible, horrible origin story. Shit. Like that's all I really got on that. But like I said, that's all I got. I'm just rambling now. Uh, I'll drop this video ASAP. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to get you guys more content on how I look at the world, how I am, basically. That's all I got. Until next time, world. Happy late Valentine's Day. I mean, it's February 2nd. Like, who really cares at this point? They still got stuff like at the mall and whatnot. Not the mall, but they probably do. But they still got stuff at Walmart. Like, they still got all those bears and shit. Like, it's just crazy.